Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to One Fair Review. I'm your host, always, Grant, and today we're going to be talking about some great stuff. Season 2s. Season 2s are great. Every anime fan longs for the day that his favorite anime gets a Season 2. I long for Season 2s. We all long for Season 2s. Oftentimes, we don't actually get the Season 2 to our particular anime that we want to see get a Season 2. For instance, No Game No Life is probably never going to have a Season 2, but I'm not going to give up hope that one day, just one day, I might get exactly what I've been asking for. Honestly though, we really shouldn't feel entitled about this. We should just celebrate when we get a Season 2 from whatever anime that we are getting, even if it's an anime we have not been looking forward to. Fortunately for me, a couple anime this year did deliver on Season 2s that I wanted to see. A few of them I just got because why not. But today I'm going to be talking about a couple anime, 4 anime in particular, that I saw the Season 2 of, or I'm currently seeing the Season 2 of. I'm going to give my reviews on them. Now, this is a video that's going to be done in the same style that another video I did months ago was, where I just briefly talked about a couple shows that I had watched during the fall of 2019 anime, and I just kind of talked about them, and you guys seemed to enjoy it, I hope. Some of you probably didn't, but you know what? Today we're going to be doing stuff differently, and hopefully it is fun for everybody, because today we're going to be talking about 4 Season 2s that came out, and honestly that is something we should rejoice. Alright, so let's not beat around the bush, let's talk about our first one, High Score Girl Season 2. I'm a little bit late on this one. This was an anime I reviewed a long time ago. It's actually one of my more viewed videos on this channel, and I did promise I was going to review episodes when they came out. Unfortunately I didn't. Mainly because I didn't feel that there was enough episodes that had come out, and I was waiting, and then even more episodes came out, which those turned out to be Season 2, and then I was kind of expecting more or less more episodes to come out, even though there was a cliffhanger. So I waited even longer to review Season 2 of High Score Girl Round 2, and yeah, now we're here. We've made it through a couple months, and there has been no new episodes that have been announced or that are coming out, so I'm gonna review every episode of Season 2 as well as the last 3 episodes of the first season. Now, I don't want to give away too much of what happens in Season 2, mainly because I really like this anime, but so a lot of the things that happened in the first anime that made me like it a lot was the relationship between Haru and Ono. These 2 characters were great, and I really wanted to see them, you know, see their friendship or their relationship develop, see where they went. Now, you started to see a glimmer of hope towards the end of Season 1, and it left off on a cliffhanger, and then Season 2 opens up, and it pretty much opens up to kind of what we saw in the first season. Haru is a pretty bad student, lazy, plays video games, and then Ono is sheltered and really can't see Haru that much. Oh boy. How do I love that? We saw a little bit of progress with Haru's character in Season 1, and he kind of just reverts back to being a oblivious idiot that he was before, which was quite annoying. Now, that's not to say it's bad. You know, Haru is a very likable character. He is nice in his own way, but it kind of felt weird seeing the progress that he made in the last season kind of revert backwards to then just pick himself back up and go back to what he was gonna do. That was a little bit weird. Another thing that the show does is it also ends on a kind of another tournament. Kind of like how in the first season there was a tournament, there's a tournament here. It is a little bit more exciting, in fact vastly more exciting, and it was enjoyable to watch. Now, what I love about this series in particular are the games that they show and how the games are incorporated in the world. Haru and Ono seem to just have these characters that just are in their lives and then just enrich every moment of every day, and they will talk to them. It's not clear if it's their actual consciousness that is making these things up or if they are actually affecting the characters in real life. It's not made clear, but really it's an anime, so you really shouldn't think about it that much. We also get to see a lot more of Hidaka. Hidaka is still a gamer. She is still really good at games. In fact, probably better at Haru at this point. And she is still madly in love with Haru. And again, this man just cannot treat women right. Hidaka really gets treated badly in Season 2. It's pretty terrible. Poor girl. I do feel bad for her, but honestly, I mean, everybody kind of just wants Ono to be with Haru. I think that's what we expect, but it is kind of sad what happens to Hidaka. Again, not gonna spoil it, but she does get the shaft in season 2, as always. She has a few episodes dedicated to her. She has a thing going on with Ono. She has a little tournament thing that goes on. It is a battle of the sexes, as the characters in the show put it, between Ono and Hidaka, who both are madly in love with Haru. Quite the lucky man, might I say. And there's a little dynamic that goes on that is very interesting and very creative. Again, the video games always play an aspect into this show, and all the old footage is crisp, beautiful, and super nostalgic. That is something I love about High Score Girl. You know, the story is great, the characters are great, the music's pretty good, the animation leaves a lot to be desired, but you know what? At least the gameplay footage is spectacular. Which, speaking of the animation has improved significantly. I don't know if they're using more 2D hand-drawn stuff than they were before, but it certainly does appear to be so. On multiple occasions, I just thought the show looked really damn good, whereas compare that to the first season, it didn't really look that good. It was kind of janky. Here, they seem to have improved a lot, and a lot of the animation is a lot better, just nicer to look at, more pleasing to the eye, and I really enjoy that. I hope by season 3, they can hopefully make it look even better, you know, just please keep progressing, because the animation is not my favorite part of High Score Girl. It works, I can deal with it, but it is definitely not my favorite part. Now, that being said, season 2 of High Score Girl was exciting, definitely had a lot more highlights than the first one, had a lot of funny character moments. Haru is a piece of crap still. He reverts back to, like I said, but he does kind of bounce back, and you know, you got an interesting dynamic between his relationships with all the people around in his life that are there to enrich his life or to make his life a living hell. That being said, season 2 does end with a cliffhanger, a pretty big one, so we are gonna have to wait to see what happens next. What happens next? That's my question. What happens next? Again, no spoilers, but there is a season 2. Is it worth watching? Definitely. Now, if I had to rate the show, comparing it to the first season, it is definitely better than the first season. I do have my problems with it. Like I said, I did find it annoying how it kind of reverts back to the first season with Haru just kind of, you know, just going backwards in his personality and just his character change and development. And then Ono is just back to just being a sheltered girl. Now, again, things get better as the series goes along, but that was a little bit of annoyance when I first watched the first couple of episodes. That being said, I do really like the anime, and I would rate it a 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend anybody who's watched the first season to check this out if you haven't already. Moving on to our next season 2, let's talk about Dropkick on My Devil, season 2. Yeah, this was a surprise. So, for those of you who don't know, which you probably don't, the first anime I ever reviewed, the first anime series I ever reviewed was an Amazon exclusive called Jashin-chan Dropkick on My Devil. It was a really funny anime. I really enjoyed it, but it got taken down because of a copyright claim, which was very unfortunate. But yeah, so unfortunately that video is not up, so I'm going to recount some of my thoughts on the first season. First season's a hilarious season, pure comedy, nothing else. Pure comedy. If that's what you're looking for, this is what it is. It is just pure comedy. Now, ever since season 1, it turns out that, I guess, the licensing changed, and now it is on Crunchyroll, maybe on Amazon. I haven't checked, to be honest with you. I saw it on Crunchyroll, so I was like, oh, okay. Big surprise, let me tell you. The big question I always ask myself with season 2s is it worth watching again? Now, for the most part, I kind of know what Dropkick on My Devil is going to be about. It's not about, you know, this overarching plot. There's no character developments. You know, nothing of that sort. It is just pure comedy. These characters are in this world. What do they do? How do they handle it? Jashin-chan's a horrible being that just torments everybody. What can you do? So is it worth watching again? Is it worth watching a season 2? Which, for what you pretty much already expect is going to happen. First episode was a complete mindfuck to me. I could not believe what was going on. I didn't understand what was going on for the most part. Once I finally realized what was happening, I did very much laugh. I thought it was very funny. And as I continued the series, I just thought it was funny, but I don't know. There's just something missing from it that that made the first season really good. Now, that doesn't mean that this is not good. Season 2 is great of Dropkick on My Devil. I mean, it's the same comedy. It's the same characters. You know, some new developments are introduced, new characters are come into play. But it is, like I said, the same comedy and same kind of shtick. And if you liked Season 1 of Dropkick on My Devil, which I do highly recommend you to watch it because it is a hilarious show, then Season 2, you might enjoy it or you might not. If you want something new, you're probably not going to find it. But if you want something that's familiar and fun and engaging, which I guess during this time you'd probably want, then I would definitely say give it a watch. Honestly, I don't have too much to say about Dropkick on My Devil Season 2. The animation is still of the same quality. It's very beautiful to look at, very engaging, very energetic. The character designs are great. The music is very fascinating, and the characters themselves, their personalities are still intact. Hilarious characters. Jashin-chan is great. Minos, Medusa, Pecora is just like the most unfortunate being on the planet. You know, all these characters are great and very entertaining, and I have to say it was a really fun ride just watching it again. If I had to rate Dropkick on My Devil Season 2, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's really good. It's very fun, very engaging. I definitely recommend it if you guys are looking for something of said comedy standard. Check it out. Kaguya-Sama Love is War Season 2. Oh my gosh. Who was waiting for this? I was. I was definitely waiting for this. Love is War is a terrific show. Was terrific. If you guys have not seen my video on it, please go check it out. I talk about it more in depth there than I will here. Season 2 is more of what you like. There is a lot more development in Season 2, naturally. A lot more development. Character development especially. Relationships do change, which is good. But for the most part, it is still the same. Love is War. It still gives you the same feelings. That being said, it's not completely the same, which is something I really appreciated. Whereas Dropkick on My Devil was very much same old, same old. Love is War kind of changed a little bit, and I'm not going to spoil it because that would just be doing a disservice to the show. Let me just say, it is hilarious, it is great, and the characters are super, super likable. Everything about Love is War Season 2 was a big improvement on the first season, and the first season was already really good to begin with, so the fact that they kept up the quality, not just kept up the quality, but just brought it up to a higher standard is always great to see. Very unexpected to actually have a Season 2 on this. This was a show that I did not expect. I expected this to just be one of those anime where it's like, alright, here's the anime, go buy the manga. That is actually what I expected it to be. Like, we were not going to get a Season 2. But you know what? They did it, and it's really fun. It's really engaging. This is definitely the one I would recommend over Dropkick on My Devil, where Dropkick on My Devil is more the same. Love is War is a little bit different. Things have changed since the first season. Characters have grown. So I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to rate the show Love is War Season 2 a 9 out of 10. Another 9 out of 10, of course. Go check it out. A fantastic, fantastic show. Lastly, but not finally, let's talk about ReZero Season 2. Now, this is the show that I have not finished, but I did want to talk about it on this episode because, unfortunately, I don't think I've talked about ReZero that much, other than maybe a couple instances where I've mentioned Rem as being one of my favorite anime characters. Other than that, I really haven't talked much about it, so let me briefly go over Season 1. Season 1 of ReZero is what you'd expect. A character by the name of Subaru is taken to another world. Big surprise. Yeah, really, just big surprise. He gets taken to a fantasy world by a mysterious entity. He then meets up with such wonderful, delightful characters while roaming the streets. Emilia and Puck then show him around a little bit, help him out, he helps them, and then he finds out a horrible, crushing reality that every time he dies, it resets time for him, a specific amount of time. It's never really said how much time or at what time it will be. It just resets time for him, usually a couple days. So, with this power, Subaru has to figure out what to do and when to do it. But he can't tell anybody else because he might endanger himself as well. I'm pretty sick of isekai, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so done with them. I don't want to see any more isekai. It's just a whole thing. But when I watched ReZero, it became my absolute favorite, as with most people back when it first came out. Season 1 was an absolute masterpiece. I was immediately invested, mainly because of just the idea of this character. His benefit in this world is he has a phone, and he can just, he dies and then comes back to life at a certain amount of time, backwards in time. It's just very creative. I love the little comedy elements in it. I love the darker elements in it. Now, one thing I will say about ReZero, though, it is one of those unfortunate shows where the main character is not in love with the character that you'd want him to be, which would be Rem, the fan favorite. Everybody loves Rem. I love Rem. I mean, heck, if I was Subaru, I would go with fucking Rem. Like, forget Emilia. Rem is where it's at, but of course you understand why he likes Emilia so much, to a certain extent. But, that's besides everything. How is the story? The story is very engaging, filled with mystery. You don't really know too much of what's going on. Season 2 will give you some answers, definitely. But in the first season, you don't really know too much. You're just kind of trying to figure out what Subaru needs to do, why he's there to begin with, and what brought him there. Like, why is he there? And why does he reek of the witch? That's the biggest question in season 1. Now, season 2 is also really good. Really good. I mean, if you expected them to not deliver on quality, that's all up to you. I've been excited ever since they announced this. Again, this was another show that I did not expect them to do a season 2, mainly because, I don't know, I just figured it was one of those shows where it's like, hey, yeah, we finished season 1, go get the manga. Not the case. Not the case. It did come out much later than Love is War season 2, but nonetheless, it's coming out, and that's great. Now, again, I have not finished this show at all. I plan to, of course, and I don't know when I'm going to talk about it again. That's kind of why I wanted to incorporate it in here. And I just wanted to take the time to talk about season 1 and just how I love the show. I love the character of Subaru. I love how just idiotic he is, and just not really that good he is at what he does. The biggest benefit he has is just that he has a phone on him, and that he just comes back to life and just kind of needs to figure things out, which makes it very fun. Feels very video gamey that way, because hey, if you die and respawn, you could retry things and do things differently. But really, Subaru is not really the most interesting character in the show. Obviously, it's the people around him, more specifically Rem, who has a dark, tragic past. Rem and Ram have a dark, tragic past, but Rem, more specifically, is the fan favorite. I love this show mainly for Rem. Honestly, just give me a Rem spin-off series where she's happy, and I'll be good. That being said, the mystery is very intriguing. The world is very intriguing. Just trying to figure out what's going on is what's kept this show going. Naturally, I'm trying to be as vague as possible to avoid any kind of spoilers, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, season 1 did end on a cliffhanger. As I said, it kind of left on what's going to happen next, and that's kind of where we're at. All the mystery was kind of left for season 2, and this is where you're going to find out. Now, again, I'm not going to spoil anything in season 2 because it is still there. I haven't finished it myself, so I can't really talk too much, but what I wanted to say is that the animation is terrific, the music is great, and the characters are as good as always. Hopefully it does not fail. Hopefully I enjoy season 2, and just please be good. That's what I hope. Please be good. Obviously, I'm not going to rate this show because, I haven't finished it. So, just know that it's really good, and I recommend the first season. If you guys have not already watched ReZero Season 1, please do so. There are a few things that are a little bit questionable, mainly in animation at certain points. It's not the best, but it is still a really great show with great characters. That's all I have for this episode. What did you guys think? Did you like any of the anime I talked about? Have you watched any anime I've talked about? Do you love it, hate it, don't like it, despise it, you mad at me for even talking about it? Let me know down in the comments down below. I always love reading your guys' comments, seeing what your guys' thoughts on various anime subjects. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for everybody who has supported us up till this point. I do realize it's hard. For the people who are also wondering about Alex, Alex is perfectly fine. He is healthy. We just have not been able to get in contact with each other due to current world events. So, yeah, just so you guys know, everything's going fine behind the scenes. Alright, That being said, I'm your host, Grant, for One Fair Review. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do hope you guys check out some of the anime that I've talked about today. If you guys enjoyed this type of style of video, I definitely will consider doing another one, considering this is my second. So let me know down in the comments down below. As always, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.